It's like every day, the rich just give us another reason to want to eat them.
God.
Hey y'all, it's your Slow. Welcome back to my channel. We are currently 400 something subscribers deep. I don't remember how many. You guys know I can't count, but I want to say thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. If you haven't yet, I make new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Comes other days if I feel like it. Today, this is going to be a Saturday video with me talking about my hot takes on some stuff that's going on in the world and my raging capitalism. But yeah, make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. I make new videos 3 times a week. I'll show you how to look fly, how to argue, and I don't know, just be genuinely funny. Just be a wild animal that I am on the inside. I can't be at work. So did you subscribe? Go like awesomeness. You should go ahead and subscribe. Just what do you have to lose? Just go ahead and subscribe and hit the little bell too. You know when I post new videos. Okay. Today, on this lovely Saturday afternoon, we're going to be talking about celebrities and how they ruin everything. Okay, maybe not ruin everything, but they do have the tendency to gentrify things that were originally meant for poor people, okay? I'm gonna talk specifically a little bit more about Onlyfans, but also the same kind of with YouTube too. Like, it's obviously if you have a label or you have a force that can funnel you money, you're gonna be easily able to gain an audience. Also too, with people who are famous, people want to follow you and subscribe to your channel or follow your OnlyFans just because they're curious and they know who you are. So that's what we're getting at, because I feel like people don't realize how intertwined our lives are with our financial status because of capitalism. Like, literally the saying is true. Like, cream, cash rules everything around me. Like, it does. Like, if you don't have money, you can't get food, you can't get a car, you can't go to school. You need supplies. I mean, so technically school is free, but you need supplies. Books aren't cheap, especially when you get to college. It's all a scam. It's all a scam, I swear. Like, I went to college and I swear, I think it's a scam still. Anyways, so I'm gonna get into why I feel like celebrities are just mad greedy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm saying it. Like, I mean, I like a lot of them I'm gonna talk about, but like, they're just mad greedy, and they're not really thinking of, I guess, like, they don't realize the struggle of income inequality, So what do I mean when they're gentrifying? By they're gentrifying OnlyFans, like gentrifying YouTube. Basically, gentrification is a process in which happens, where I'm from actually, where they take a rundown, poor neighborhood that usually filled with people of color, and they actually give them vouchers to move somewhere else, and then they take that area that they move people out of, and then they tear everything down, build new stuff, and make it like the prices too high for anyone who used to live there to live there again. So basically what they did, specifically where I'm from, Cincinnati, Ohio, right? So there's this area called the West End. Well, I was like living in Cincinnati, and I live in Columbus, Ohio, because I didn't pay after college. Anyways, so basically what they did, they took parts of their downtown that were really run down, okay? And they tore them down, tore it all down, just like get rid of it all. People who lived there, though, they gave them vouchers to live in places like Forest Park, which is where I live, which is where I'm from, and other places that are like suburbs in Cincinnati. What they did with that area, though, is now make these fancy condos and high-end apartments for people who are like maybe higher middle class, if you want, like not your average Joe working Joe. We can get into that too. People don't understand about the US, we have extreme income inequality, and I feel like I can't be excited about stuff like celebrities or like excited about like having a black billionaire or Latino billionaire. Like, I'm not excited about any billionaires at all. It means they're like hoarding wealth. Like, they're hoarding wealth. They're hoarding. Like, literally, we have so many homeless people. People are starving. You know, some people, like, I think millions of people right now are still laid off and fired because of coronavirus. So I'm sorry if I'm not excited about Tyler Perry or Kylie Jenner being billionaires. People are literally fucking dying from not having healthcare, not having money. Okay? Let me explain to y'all how fucked up our system is, okay? If you're not in the US, don't come here, okay? It's hard, okay? Like, I think the thing about people in the US too, a lot of people think that they're just like, you know, they're gonna be billionaires one day. And honestly, if you're someone who's working poor, it's extremely difficult to become a billionaire. And I feel like maybe I could be excited about billionaires if we didn't have so many people like homeless and like starving or like literally dying because they don't have health care. Which of course you guys know how I feel about that. I'm one American for all. But like I could get excited about billionaires if everyone was like taken care of, but they're not. And I think that's the most important thing is make sure everyone's taken care of before you can take more. Honestly, again, people who are billionaires are hoarding the wealth. They're hoarding it. And I think if there's some celebrities that already have like net worths to be trying to take more money from people who are poor. I'm just trying to get by. So in the US, over the past 50 years, the highest earning 20% of the US households have steadily brought in a larger share of the total country's income. And as most people know, actually in the US, the top 1% have the same amount of wealth as 90% of us. So like, let's see. So basically, and it's also too, it says income inequality in the U.S. is the highest of all the G9 nations, according to the data from Organization of Economic Cooperation Development. Basically, that is like measuring all the global north countries, like the U.S., U.K., Italy, Japan, Canada, Germany, France. Also, too, the black-white income gap has persisted over time. Overall, Americans say there is too much economic inequality today, but views differ by household and political party. Let's see. And it says, the biggest thing here, the wealth gap between America's richest and poor families more than doubled from 1989 to 2016, according to a recent analysis by the Center. Another way of measuring inequality is to look at household wealth, also known as net wealth, or the value of assets owned by a family, such as a home, a savings account minus outstanding debt, such as a mortgage or student loan. So basically, your net worth is how much money you have, you know, saved up, assets you own, money saved up, minus how much debt you owe. So people have net worth. That means that they're making more than they need to even survive. They have a net worth. So in 1989, the richest 5% of families had 114 times as much wealth as the families on the second quintile. Yeah, the richest families are also the only ones whose wealth increased from the years after the start of the Great Recession, which was from 2007 to 2016. It's just nasty. Okay. Middle class incomes have grown just at a slower rate than upper tier incomes over the past 5 decades. But honestly, the majority of us in America are what's called the working poor. Now, I've seen something around the lines of like working poor being considered. So working poor basically is people who work full-time jobs but like live paycheck to paycheck. So basically, if you miss a paycheck, you're like you're one paycheck away from like being homeless and losing everything you have. Like, that's working poor, which the majority of us in the U.S. are. And also, you're more likely to be working poor if you're a woman or if you're Black or Latino. So honestly, there's always such a gap between us. Like, there's really no such thing as like middle class. Like, there's not. Like, actually, let's Google it. What even is middle class? Let me try and find that, because people talk about the middle class. Like, we don't have middle class for real in this country. Like, middle class. Like, what does that even mean? Like, how do you define middle class? So Pew defines middle class as earning 2/3 to double the median household income. This Pew classification means the category middle income is made of people making somewhere between $40,000 to $122,000. What? So I guess part of middle class is where it depends on where you live, because the median income for Ohio is way different from California versus like Texas or Florida or even like Vermont. I don't even know what they do over there, but like it's differing. So yeah, like, and the wages are stagnant. Like, they haven't been increasing for us. So yeah, like, it's like we're looking at. So you have to like look by each state. Okay, so if you're in Alabama, so with what I make in a year, which is my day job, I don't make anything off this yet, but hopefully you guys want to support, you know, just go ahead and subscribe. That helps me out. Let's see. So I'm trying to find Ohio because it's where I live. Literally. So to be middle income in Ohio, I'm making around $80,000, $33 a year. So I'm kind of right in between the lower and middle, but I'm still working poor. Like, I'm still working poor. So why I say all this? Because I feel like celebrities don't think about it from that standpoint. They think about it of like, oh, I'm gonna make a quick buck, because people, if you have a platform, like if you already have a lot of IG followers, or you're known from TV, people don't want to see like you half naked, flirting, whatever, however you do this. And some people, it's on par with their brand, like Amber Rose, Black China. It makes sense. They voice kind of like more sexualized image. For Mia Khalifa, I thought that was cool for her, because finally she has to do something with her consent. Like, she deserves to be happy, okay, people? I love Mia Khalifa. And, you know, but other people who, like, the person that really inspired me to do this one is Jordyn Woods, because, like, she has a net worth, I believe, around, like, $6 million. And she, you know, was able to start businesses. And, I mean, of course, I love her. I think she's a great girl. I think she's really pretty. She's hot. She's hot. But, like, dude, like, don't take a space for people who really need money. Whereas where you can, like, the net worth of $6 million, you can go start your own business and then profit from that business people want to buy because you're Jordyn Woods. You know what I mean? But she, like, Bella Thorne, like, that was... I still want Bella Thorne on this day because that pissed me off. Like, how should I put a mainstream face? You don't need to put a mainstream... Like, you don't need... You have a net worth. What's her net worth? I believe it was, like, around $12 million. I looked a lot of these up before I started this. Because my net worth is, you guys... Probably in the negatives, honestly. It's probably in negative. Can you have negative net worth? Is that possible? So if it is possible, I definitely do. Negative net worth. But let's see. Bella Thorne. Net worth. $12 million. So even more than I thought it was. So hers is $12 million. Seen on Onlyfans because she want to make a quick buck. Like, I mean, I feel like she's trying to be like, I'm trying to research for, okay, if you're trying to actually do research of being a sex worker, you would get someone whose face no one knows and try to build your audience up like the rest of us have to, that aren't known because we weren't on Disney or we're not rich. She would have really done. And also, too, you would have not scammed your fans. I think you're going to be nude and not being nude in the photos. And the fact that people will pay $2 to hear naked is beyond me, but teach their own. But my point is this. So I'm just saying, like, it's not about anyone for being like creative. Like, I think it's everyone getting to express their sexuality is fine. It's fun. But just remember this, that like celebrities have to do a lot less and can charge a lot more. So a lot of people, I think lots of people are more so just like in their underwear. And a lot of them are, maybe aren't naked. As well as like their rates are a lot higher. Like I believe, I love Veronica Vega, but I know her rate's like 30, and I'm like, it's a lot. That's a lot for my little income here. I know Winter Blanco's, hers is like 45, and I'm like, I'm not paying. Like I'm not paying that when porn is free. Like that's too much. So I'm just saying, like, basically when celebrities or people who, you know, have more influence and have more money come on this platform, to do them to kind of gentrify it, to take it and make something totally different and take it away from people who were really the ones who were building it up, which is poor women of color that made OnlyFans pop. Poor women in general, but a lot of poor women of color. It took a lot of the brunt too of the judgment of being like, oh, you're on OnlyFans, like. It's funny, they don't have that same kind of like energy for the men, but we know why. We know why they don't. But I'm just saying. So I think if anyone sees this message, if anyone sees this message, I would just say, you know, think of people who really actually need something like OnlyFans to feed their family or to feed themselves or to not end up homeless. Like make sure like if you know you have more power, more influence, use your influence to build something that, you know, someone else in my position who's not rich couldn't build. That's what I want to get at, because honestly, like taking our stuff, I don't know, I don't know how, but I feel like there's going to be a proletariat rising soon enough, like, because it's hard to get ahead when you're poor in this country, and people coming, like people who already have influence and power coming in should take things that were built like YouTube and OnlyFans to help people make more money. Is not gonna help it's not gonna help the problem of income inequality. I mean, of course, like we can't do anything as like people ourselves, but like definitely would be helpful if like poor people could have something to help us gain more money that wouldn't be exploited by celebrities. And that's where I'm gonna end this today. Yeah, well, thank you so much for watching. Again, Poor Girl Hair, please help me out. Let's go ahead and like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below too if you have any more questions about anything, or if you want me to dive into more deeply into another topic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and you have a great day.